Apple now holds more cash than U.S. government. So Apple is now more cash rich than the United States government, figures from the U.S. Treasury Department show. The figures released by the U.S. Treasury Department show the country of the United States currently has a total operating cash balance of $73.7 billion. This compares with Apple's $76.4 billion of cash reserves, which it has built up during a phenomenal half-decade of strong sales. Of course, most of their goods are, well, they're designed and innovated in the United States, but they're all manufactured in China.
Yes, this brings up a number of interesting points, Stacy. First of all, 50% of all of Apple's manufacturing capacity could be in the United States. So instead of having 70 or 80 billion in cash, they might only have 10 or 20 billion in cash. By law, under the SEC, a company's not even allowed to have that much cash without paying a dividend. So they're actually breaking the law on that front. Second of all, this is actual cash on Apple's balance sheet. It's not the money, so-called, that's on the American government's balance sheet, which is actually not hard cold cash. It's a low-grade debt, which is still debt-based, which is not actual cash. The funny thing is that if Apple were to transform itself to a bank like JP Morgan, they could leverage that 80 billion 10 times over quite easily and be an $800 billion balance sheet. It would be almost $1 trillion balance sheet on top of a company that's generating many hundreds of billions of dollars in sales. But they keep that cash on their balance sheet. Not sure exactly what Steve Jobs' strategy is there, other than to weather some downturn. But the hard, cold bottom line fact is that if he brought those jobs back to America, he'd have less cash, he'd have more jobs in America, and presumably more people in America able to buy Apple products. You know, most of Apple's sales are now outside of America because people in America can't afford to buy Apple products because Steve Jobs moved all the jobs overseas.